Hey, it's Dan, and welcome to Unified Gaming. So in this one, as you can see by the stream title, I want to go and find out what is the best sniper. Lots of you know that I like snipe builds. I've been making them for many years now, and I've kind of been away from doing that for a past patch or two, maybe a year even. And so I want to kind of get back to all of that, and with the new changes, I think we can make something special. So I'm going to go through live, just testing stuff with a mate of mine, Manti, keeping everything the same, you know, same resistance values on his side, same crit resist value, all that stuff. And we can just really go, this is the best setup. That is kind of the plan for today's video. I'm on the PTS, as you can probably tell, there's a note on screen. With the PTS, you get like crazy money, access to all of the items, which is really helpful because we can then just optimize everything fully and just see what actually is best. And Manti can hear me in Discord as well, so he'll be obviously able to react quite quick to what I'm doing and stuff. Hey, you're right, Sage. So first things first, we need to just get a generic setup, so a kind of a benchmark to go from. A lot of people like Mythic items and Oakensoul, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm going to try and start with a 2-bar, my kind of current build that I use. So if you haven't seen the video, it is on YouTube. But basically, I use a 1-piece penetration monster set. So something like Krog is very good. You want to go all medium armor. So we go for the head. You're going to go all divines because you're maximizing the damage. And on this version, I actually used the Wild Hunt ring. I'm going to get a few items, like a few mythics we could just play around with. So we could use Wild Hunt, which is very good. I really like this one. Another one which I want to try and see is Oakensoul, because people really like this. It's a good mythic to run, especially for 1-bar builds. And we will also test the brand new one, which I think will be the best mythic for snipers next patch. Velothi, I think it's pronounced, Mage's Amulet. This is great. So we're going to try those mythics very quickly just to see what's the best mythic. For the sets that I ran previously, I ran an overland set called Bray. It is phenomenal. So if you're unaware, it is a medium armor set, comes from elsewhere, and it just gives you crazy, crazy sustain. Now it does have a weird name, it's Vesture of Darlock Bray, but it is really good. Hey, you're right, Sandra. Going, hi. So we're just gearing up kind of the current setup I use on the live server, and then we'll go and then kind of see, can we make it better, basically. So we'll put on all this stuff now, get rid of that. And if you have any sets that you want to see tested, by the way, do like shout in the comments, because I'd love to kind of see, you know, what other ideas. I look at all the sets, but you know, I don't always get it right. So if you go, Dan, like try this, like do shout, and I will try my best to accommodate. And we just need to get some shoulders for Darlock Bray, whoever that is. That's right at the bottom. There you go. So, and what we was using was a set that again was easy to get. It's a heavy armor set called Way of the Fire. This was very, very good. So we're just trying kind of what we used previously, just to see with the new changes, is it better or is it worse? Is it still going to work or not? And kind of my current feeling is that it works against kind of squishy targets. Someone just said, any sets like Morag Tong. Well, we can try stuff like that. And I tried to kind of go with the most powerful sets first. So things like Swamp Raid is really good for damage. Scavenging Demise is very good. Way of the Fire is very good. And then if we go Way of the Fire is better than, say, Sheer Venom, then we can dismiss Sheer Venom like instantly. But we'll try that as many as we can. Sage says he's had success with Witch Knight and Archer's Mind, 1 Keen or 1 Balorg. Is that in CP or no CP? So you want a Bow of the Fire for this. You want jewellery as well. My gut feel is Way of the Fire will still be the best set to pair with a sniper. Even though the tooltip below it just procs really frequently. Procs on your initial hit and it procs on follow-up damage. And we'll transmute all of this in a second. So that is the stuff. There's fire, dial up Bray, and then we can backbar something else if you want. So I would backbar like the Vate 2H just for extra damage basically. It's kind of a good one. And that's an arena set. Sorry, it's the ability auto one. Sage 77 Blast with the Doppler. It is such a strong build. And I can't believe the buff in it. Like, it is ridiculously busted. I will make a video. Well, there's a video on YouTube already that's available to Patreons if you want to check it out. And yeah, it's just crazy, crazy, crazy good. Like, you literally just dot people up and they die. Like, they don't expect so much damage so quick. We also want... it was the Vate. I'm going to go over the basic one because most people don't have the perfected one. And it doesn't make much difference on the bat bar. We use this just as a passive damage boost. But this is my kind of current setup. So you've got that there. We have this. So you've got fire, fire, fire. That's 3 fire. Weapon counts as 2. And you've got dial up Ray 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you can drop a mythic, drop a monster set, sorry, and go with 1 extra dialogue to have them always on. And that kind of works. And we will also test our race too to see, is being a Khajiit better or worse? So this is pretty much what I was using. So yeah, it's solid. We can squeeze an extra trainee piece in here somewhere, but I'm not going to because it won't change the results. Manti, could you put the lava munders down for us, please? And then we'll put on all our skills. So as a sniper, we need lethal arrow, gives us poison status. Focused aim, I found last patch was giving us slightly more follow-up damage, so it was probably better for consistent damage. Lethal aim was better with dot snipes. So, hey Tate, Tate has given us a massive support there. Really appreciate that support there, mate. That's honestly like insane. He's asking how are things. Things are going good. I'm busy kind of getting back onto the YouTube grind, which is yeah. I said to my wife actually, I want to get a play button. That's kind of my goal now. Like, I enjoy doing YouTube as a hobby, but I want a play button. That's kind of the long-term goal. So trying to get the content coming out really quick, keeping busy with life and stuff. But yeah, really good my end. Hope things are good your end, and yeah, you're not shoveling snow, although you probably still are. Tate, I didn't get a notification, but I thought you were streaming. Yeah, I normally stream this sort of time. I'm going to go with lethal arrow to begin with. So lethal arrow. We need an execute, like poison injection, not venom arrow. So let's quickly fix that. Cheers, Sandra. Yeah, I don't know if people were aware. I had knee surgery about 2 months ago. And so I was like kind of quite busy with just things in life, getting ahead of work, and yeah, so just now I've actually kind of got over kind of the worst of it, and you know, things are kind of going forward. It's, you know, it's great because actually I can really kind of focus on things I enjoy. So yeah, we just got to fix this skill morph. There we go. So one of the reasons we use poison injection, just as a for anyone that's missed a build, is poison injection procs a dot, which is nice, but it procs away with the fire on cooldown, which is really good. That's why we use it. And then you basically just want to put on cloak and then any damage buffs that you can. So shadowy disguise goes here, and then you need an assassination skill of choice for this passive. So you either go with something like grim focus and go with the bow of choice. Personally, I find I have more mag than stam sustain, so I'm kind of merciful resolve. Hits a bit harder. For the ultimate, you really want toxic barrage. It's kind of the best bow ult you can get. And yeah, that's kind of mainly the skills you need for front bar. You can go and get a passive damage boost from Fighter's Guild called Camo Hunter. So Expert Hunter, Camouflage Hunter gives you Minor Berserk when you're behind them, so just free damage. And on the back bar, it's just all buffs. So you go to your 2H, you go get Rally because it's a heal and a just damage buff, so it's nice. You then want to go to your front bar, back bar, sorry, and get Cripple and go for not Cripple, sorry, Siphon Strikes and go for Leech and Strikes. That's just kind of extra sustain if you do need it. I would recommend using a Burst Heal, so you go down to Malevolent Offering. If you use Oaken Soul, use Shrewd Offering. If you don't use Oaken Soul, Healthy Offering. Both are good. I'm going to go with Healthy because I'm not using Oaken Soul in this setup. You want Vigor as a heal over time. And this is kind of like the default sniper setup. So if you're curious what are like the default skills, this is what you want to run. Like it covers most situations. You've got heals, you've got damage, you've got movement stuff in a moment. I generally use Temporal Guard. Precognition is also very good to kind of get you out of trouble. So I'll probably go with this patch. Because you can use it when you're kind of stunned. So really, really good. And then you've got a Flex Spot. Race against time, basically. So if, that's also Sigic Order. If you don't have access to Race Against Time, there isn't much anything else that gives you the Minor Force, so you kind of do need this, unfortunately. Just moving my skills around. But yeah, so that's kind of the skills. You might notice the sneak speed is like garbage at the moment. You have to be a vampire for this. That's like non-negotiable. But yeah, Sandra says that I'm sounding much better, which is great. Like, I hope you guys can kind of also hear that. I do really enjoy making this stuff. I really enjoy like just making content and making wacky things. Like the Doc Pla is such a fun build. And I got another one on the way called Light Attack Larry, which is literally as it says. You spam light attacks with proc sets to kill people. It's insane. So we're a vampire. Mandy, do you have the vampire feed station? Or not? You know the little like thing you can eat? We'll grab our Mundus too. And then we'll do all our traits whilst we're waiting. Being a vampire, we get some really useful passives for people curious. You get Dark Stalker, lets us get into Sneak quick, we can move at full speed. Strike from the shadows, bonus damage when we come out of stealth, and Undeath. Makes us tanky, which is really, really helpful. You want to use Sharpened, it's the best trait for the bow. On the jewellery now, I'm unsure which one to use. I'm considering Bloodthirsty this patch, rather than Infused. So I've gone Infused previously, and I'll keep it Infused for now, but we'll do a few tests to see, is Infused the way to go, or Bloodthirsty? And I generally don't know the answer to this. On my Doppler, I use Bloodthirsty because it's really good. So yeah, we can find out in a moment. For consumables, I just use Tri-Stat Food, but you can use Stam Sustain Food if you wish. But yeah, so this is the PTS. It's got like most of the stuff you want. But we're doing everything we can to basically stack as much damage as we can. If you were to go and do this, I would probably suggest something like Jewels of Mistral as a... It's just health and some regen. You lose a bit of damage, but you get good sustain. So it's kind of an easier way to play this build, especially if you go 2 damage sets. But that's just personal choice. As for glyphs, I found that using fire is actually really good. So using a fire glyph is very, very good, or shock. If you use Way of the Fire, you can use shock. If you don't use Way of the Fire, use obviously fire, but it's just really good. And then this is generally all stamina. I'm going to do this without CP. And yeah, I'll do it without CP just because the results in CP and no CP are like identical. Manti said that he can't find what the thing's called, the feeding station in the Crown Store, so I'm just going to go to a city quickly and just eat some people and come back. But yeah, we are pretty much good to go. And I always think it's good to be able to see this kind of stuff, so you can see it is just like legit. Like, I'm not trying to like fluff the numbers and stuff. It is what it is. This is clearly the best or the worst. Manti has sent his stat page, by the way. So I'm going to go and just put the link into the chat. So if you do want to see that yourself, that's his stat page. And that's unbuffed. So unbuffed, he has 22k of each resist and 1800 crit resist. So it's kind of a typical build. If he used his armor buff, it will go up to 25k. So this is like with Vigor and Ice Fortress. So, and again, I'll copy this one just so you can see that, you know, this is what we're testing against. Because again, I want to try and keep it as kind of fair and true as possible.
You there? How would you like to do something worthwhile?
So we're just popping down into this delve quickly to eat. And then we're pretty much good to just go and... You might notice our health, it's going to be a bit low to begin with. And you will also see some people test on like dummies or on mobs. It's not a great way to test. It can be done, it's just the results vary quite wildly with crit resist and stuff. That was weird. So let's go eat one round here. Oh, that's Blade, right? I don't use Blade, I want to eat. Yeah, that's okay. That's one done. We'll do one more, okay? Okay, that's done. Okay, we can go join Manti now and go and do our testing. Yeah, and also just a massive thanks to Manti just helping do this. Like to be able to have a target dummy that's actually a person makes this so much easier. So yeah, a massive thanks. Yeah, so Manti's, if we go with the one that's got 25k, the one that's got 22k, because that doesn't have Vigor, it doesn't have toughness on it. Actually, we'll go with the one with Vigor and toughness, so that gives him 25,000 resistances, 1800 crit resist. It's kind of a tanky build with 32k health. It's what most builds are in PvP. Some will have slightly more resist, some will have slightly less, but 25 is around the average. Platform specific, obviously. And just to check, Manti, is your CP off? We'll add Manti into group chat so he can type in game if he wishes. Yeah, Manti's just said his CP is off, okay? So we're just going to do a quick check. Do we have everything we need? Sharpened here. Just salmon on all of this. This can be stammed for a bit more damage. We'll do that now. Don't think it'll make a huge difference, to be frank. But yeah, we're getting everything as high as you can. All weapon damage, okay? And our skills are here, so we have damage buff, crit buff, and that's what we need basically. With this set, so we have 1, 2 fire, 3 fire, 4 fire, 5 fire. We then have 1 Darlock, 2 Darlock, 3 Darlock, 4 Darlock, 5 Darlock, mythic item, and we have Vate on the back bar, which is just bonus damage whilst we're in combat, the more we do it. You can put Darlock on the back bar and put like a monster set on this, which can work quite well. So that is an alternative. Manti says he's 22k unbuffed on the back bar of 3 heavy and 4 medium. So if Manti, could you face the target dummy? And then, because that way when you attack people in PvP you want to be behind them. You'll see my poison injections just gone off. So when I'm out of range, that's kind of when I know I'm just on the edge of where we all like test, and I go, that's where we test. So we'll do this distance every time to keep the numbers fair, and that's because the bow has a passive called long shots, and as you get down, there's a few that give you more and more damage the further they're away. So that's why. So we're just going to go and just charge up our fate, which you can do this in PvP all the time. So you see our frenzy momentum is up like really high. So our weapon damage is 5.3k, out of vampire 5.7k. Okay. So I'm going to go snipe, snipe, poison injection. So that does 15k of his health roughly. So we'll make a note of that. And then we'll do that again, we'll kill him quickly and just do it 3 times, or a couple of times to get an idea. Yeah, so we can see very quickly that the damage is going to be needing to increase quite drastically. Just the base skill or the base damage on lethal aim, even with almost 6k weapon damage, is not high enough. It's like, was it 9.3k? 9.3k? So stacking weapon damage I don't think is going to be the smart play here. So what this tells us very quickly is we have a kind of a limit of how much we can attack with a setup like this. We need way more damage. I'm just going to put a glyph on our weapon, and you can use poisons if you wish. We want to enchant that, sorry. Okay, so we'll do that again. Our pen's 10k, so it's not terrible penetration. And when we are behind them, it will go up to like 12, 13k roughly. So again, we'll do the same test. Get behind them, there we go. So you might notice I didn't put on my fate buff fully, but just to see how much we can get there. So if we get a good opening with Brits, it does loads of damage. Sage says, what do you think of those 100 meter to tech potions? I think they'll be okay. So we'll do it again, but we got them down initially with just by changing the glyph to like 11k without any real issues. That was like 19k burst almost. I think the detect potion will be a issue, but they only last like 12 seconds. And most of the time people are rolling anyway whilst they're cloaking. So I think if people are doing this, you're going to be okay. So I'm just going to charge up my fate thing quickly. So you'll see that little icon above my health bar. So it's 7, 8, 9. It looks like a hammer, basically. Or like an axe, sorry. So we're buffed up. So you get all the buffs on. Snipe, snipe, poison injection. So again, we can get down to around 12k within the first combo. So it's burst is 18k approx. So I'll make a note here. Darlock plus fire plus wild hunt. 18k burst. Now what I want to do quickly is change the jewelry traits to bloodthirsty. And I want to see if that will make any real difference. Because the first hit will get him lower, but will this be a net damage game? Because the follow-up hit should be hitting much, much harder. And then we're going to change our Mythic as well in a sec. And if you have any sets you want to see tested, so like Scavenging Demise, Defiler, do shout. But at the moment I'm going for stuff that we can control the damage, rather than having to have a proc that like has to land and do damage and it's just a bit unreliable. There you go, we're in range now. Yeah, 9.8k, so that did 21k burst, that did. Yes, I made a note. I'll test it once more, but it looked like 21,000 roughly, which I say is pretty solid. Yeah, Sage says that he's also trying to kind of disencourage Cloak as a kind of an easy way to just stay alive, I guess. I think the issue with Nightblade is you can run 3 damage sets and be tanky because of Cloak and Undeath, which is an issue because most other classes can't do this. There, okay, we're in max range. Yeah, so we're looking around 20k. So it looks like Bloodthirsty is the way to go. Now I'm going to change the Mythic, and there is a new damage Mythic, which is really, really cool. Sage going, if that's the reason, explain DK to me. I think DK is just very, very, very good because, yeah, it's just very good because unfortunately a developer probably plays it. That's how it feels. I could be wrong on this, but that's just what it feels like. So we need to swap this Mythic out to another fire piece. So I'm just changing the Mythic to see which Mythic's better. Obviously this should be better. Sandra says, can you try Deadlands? We can. I'm happy to give that a go in a sec. And the first thing is it's always important to like, benchmark everything that you have. So we're looking for Way of the Fire jewelry, whatever that is. KS Bra, I think it's pronounced, says, what about that new set that gives all pen? If you're thinking of the 5, 10, 12 piece thing, yeah, we could try that. I am interested in that. My gut is it won't be good though, in all honesty. We're looking for Jewelry of the Fire, there it is. Let's grab that. Let's go get some more enchantments. And it's this one here. There we go. I need some more jewelry enchantments. That one can go. So this new Mythic, it gives you 15% crit damage and it gives you 5k pen. Your light and heavy attacks do no damage. Now, Dad says this, or Dad Mirror so he says, it's only good against monsters. So I think a lot of people misread this. So the one piece here, this pen, is on any enemy. This increase your damage by 15% is on monsters, but the critical damage is on everybody again. So as a one piece, we get 5k pen and 15% crit damage. So that's why I'm using it, because it's given us a lot of penetration. So if you look, our pen's 15k now, where it was 10,000. So I think this will be like the best Mythic for ganking, is my kind of honest thing. So that's all on there. We're going to change that one to weapon damage. So Little Adventures goes, what's the play for Sniper now? So what we're doing is we're just creating a control to then go, this is like the best or the worst. What we saw quite quickly though is Bloodthirsty was a lot better than Infused. It was hitting consistent at 2 to 3k like harder, like as in target's health being taken. And Manty's got the same stats, and so we can just compare really quickly. I miss Wild Hunt already though. So slow. So freaking slow. So we're just going to get our... We're in combat. Give me my thing. There it is. So I'm just putting this on up to 10 so you kind of get a good idea. This should hit harder. Like there's no reason why this won't hit harder. And we are sitting at max range to obviously have as much kind of bonus damage as we can. So we go snipe, snipe, blood stat, poison injection. Yeah, so that was 23,000 damage that was. We'll do that once more just to kind of get a rough idea, because things, and I do have combat metrics going in the background, which I'll be able to show this, so you can see this here. So that was 7k crit, whereas before it was 6.1k. So this Mythic's adding 1600 damage on our snipe. It's amazing. Like, it's such a good Mythic. So, yeah. King Louis says, Bloodthirsty makes sense. It buffs all your damage. You only give it a bit of healing. Yeah, 100%. I think the change to it has made it much better. It used to be pretty hit and miss, literally. But I think this will be the new Mythic to run in PvP for gankers. Because the light attacks aren't really hitting massives anyway. And we want our skills to be hitting harder. So again, it's snipe. Light attack, poison injection. So that was 20k there roughly. Our light attacks do no damage, look at that. Oh my goodness, that's so bad. Yeah, so we can say that's 20 to 23k, like, quite reliably. Whereas the highest was like 18 to 20k. So we can now look at sets to run. Obviously we can change Dial Brave for something else. So let's get rid of this quickly now. And just see what can we put on it instead. So as a damage set. Keep fire on for the moment, because it is a very good proc set. If we look at the DPS it's doing, fire proc against Manti twice, so it did 2.6k and 1900. So when you combine that, it did almost 5k damage, which is really, really good. You know, I don't think you can get many sets that's going to give you 5k extra damage, in all honesty. One thing we can try before we do that actually is just change poison injection to silver bolts. In the Fighters Guild down here, silver bolts does hit harder than poison injection by quite a lot on the initial hit. And you can go for silver shards. Now I would suggest, and people don't realise this, the range on silver bolts is 28 meters. If you go to silver shards, it's 28, but you get like an AoE. So it is better to kind of focus on this rather than the leash. I've seen a few people pick this by mistake and then they don't go, it's not working. So if you can get silver shards, if you can, it's a very good skill. And we're going to try that against Manti this time and just see, can we do more burst? Because the hope is we can do basically snipe skill when he dies. That is what we want to do. And if we can keep Dial Brave on, it'd be amazing. It's like one of my favourite sets. You can you sneak around, your stamina just goes up while you spam stuff. It's great. Okay, so we've charged the Vate bit. Okay, so this is all ready. So snipe, silver bolts. Yeah. So there's a bit of delay there, so I don't think I've got the crits on the initial hits because of the cloak. So we have to do that one again. Yeah, it didn't really crit. Yeah, so we'll try the Shattered Fate in a sec. From what I found in the past, going high pen and high crit damage was very good. Weapon damage was a bit hit and miss. So we're just charging our sniper up. For people curious, if you've joined, our weapon damage is on almost 6k, and we have like 15k pen when we're like in combat, and we've got loads of crit damage. So we do have a lot of damage on this. Okay. So we're at range. Yeah, so that did 25k damage roughly. It did. So fire plus Darlock plus Bluffy, new Mythic. So I think it looks like silver bolts will be the way to go if you're trying to burst somebody. The one thing with silver bolts though is it doesn't proc your way of the fire. So if they start rolling away, you're not going to get this ticking constantly. So that's just something to factor in. Whereas on the other ones, it will keep ticking. You'll get a lot more hits if they survive and roll around. So yeah, I think we can say this is kind of the best burst skill setup, and then we can change our sets now. So I'm going to take off Dark Bray and go on Shattered Fate, I think it's called. That is a crafted set from the new Necrom chapter. So you'll be able to like trade this if you don't have it. Armor and jewelry, crafted sets. Is it DLC? Where's Necrom? Can't see it on here. I don't want to have to travel there and craft it. That'd be an absolute pain in the neck. Necrom item sets. I put it down here. So these are some of the ones that you can get. I want crafted sets though. So I'm just trying to find where they've put it in one of these boxes. There's in terms of Necrom. So these are the ones in this. So yeah, well, we might actually have to go and craft this, which is a bit annoying. Can't see it. They might put it in the wrong thing. I doubt it. Kiss says Oaken Soul, Swamp Raider, New Moon, Arena Bow, Snipe. The Arena Bow's like really bad, like really bad. I know loads of people. It's really bad. I'll just show you really quickly and like explain why. And I'm not trying to sound like I'm being harsh, but it is really bad. I think it's the Black Rose Bow as well. Not that one. I know the one you mean. Where buffs Snipe. It's not inside. It must be Vate then. The Vate bow. Increase your damage done with Snipe based on how far you are or how close you are to target. 33% damage at 3 meters. So you go, okay, that's 33% damage. Our Snipe tooltip is like 6k. If we get it fully buffed, it's like 9.3k, maybe 10k. 33% is like 3,000 extra. It's not a lot of bonus damage for a 2-piece. You're better just using something else, in all honesty. And that's meaning you need to be here. Which, if you're here, you're going to have like no chance of staying alive. So I don't recommend that mythic, piece. The Shattered Fate one, we have to go craft it looks like. So we'll test that last, because it's going to be a bit of a pain. We'll go with Swamp Raider, because that's a popular setup, that is. My gut feel is it's not good. I don't think we'll have enough damage. But it is an overland set, if I remember. Yeah, you can use Marken's not bad. The new Mythic's better though than Marken by like quite a margin. Yeah, 5% damage boost is not bad. I'd rather just. I don't think you get 5% on like 10k is only like 500. It's not huge. Okay, so we got a Swamp Raider. The fire's still on, Swamp Raider's on. The Dalek one will be slightly higher. I forgot to put a piece on. But so this is what Swamp Raider does. It's 600 to your weapon, to your poison skills. So it is a good amount of damage. Pen wise, we have 17k pen, so we have loads of pen. Now this should hit harder obviously than Dark Bray, because it's a damage set. So I'm just charging the Vate 2H on the back bar by spamming Legion Strikes, and in PvP you can do this. Our weapon damage is 5.3k, 5.7k. We got 600 on top, so we have like 6.3k, which is, for a bow build, is loads of damage. Right. So they did 22k damage, that was approximately. We'll try that again. So I'll do it a couple of times to get a way to just test it. Proxy says the Fate bow is better on brawler classes like Warden, which it is. I would just use a different bow, like the Scattershot one that gives you a dot. I think that's better. So we're just going to charge this again just to check. So we're getting this nice and high. And for all context, Manti has the same stats every single time. So we're getting like a really fair number. Yeah, that was 18k that time. That was much lower. So yeah, Swamp Raider doesn't feel like it's doing enough damage. It basically depends on if you get crits. I think Pen or a crit set might be better. So if we take this off, and we use something like Archer's Mind's a good set to use. Or there's a Gastro, something it's called, Gourmet. I think it's a crafted set if I remember. And it gives you crit damage, it does. Yeah, when you have food buff active, your critical damage and critical hitting increase by 13%. This comes from Fire Song DLC, and it's a crafted set, so it's easy to get. I think this could be quite a good one to use. DLC crafted sets. Where's Fire Song? There we go. One of these. It says it's Fire Song. Galen and the other one, it's Yiffen or something it's called. It should. I don't think it's in the box, but it should be in that box. So you might have to go and craft that as well, which is a bit of a pain. Yeah, that's a little annoying. So we might have to come back to that one. Yeah, unless I'm going mad. Is it a craft or is it just drop? It's dropped. I don't know what. It's a drop set. Sorry, my mistake. Okay, so it's an overland set, and it is light armor. So we need to go overland sets. You can see the PTS can be a bit awkward to try and find the thing you actually want. And it's called Back Alley Gourmet. It's up here. Okay, so this is a light armor set, which my concern is with fire. It might not be as good with fire. So we're just going to get some more bag space really quick. I think it is just a... Is it utility or is it upgrades? It's upgrades. There we go. So we'll try this one. Yeah, so this is a light armor one. So if you were to use fire still, I would still use this like loadout. So then we can check the damage between this and the previous one. So our pen should be really high, 18k pen. Plus we get the 1500 in PvP when we're behind them, so that'd be 20k pen. Mitch says he missed snipe builds, but tank meta, 100%. Sage says he never understood the Swamp Raider hype. It looks good on paper, but never had much luck with it. It was good in a meta where people weren't really stacking much defense. So when people don't have much defense, weapon damage sets will do better. But when people obviously stack loads of defense, you then obviously have an issue that you are trying to kill them really quickly. Yeah, so that did like no damage. Let me do that again, I don't think... So you can see just without having that weapon damage, our base ult dip is so low. Because I've seen some people say build into really high crit damage sets. We could try New Moon. Like New Moon is a solid set. It's just expensive to run, like stand wise. Let me go grab some potions in a sec too. So we're just getting this up, so we have enough. Okay, so I think we're good to go. So that did 21k damage. So that was fire plus Gourmand, I think it's back alley Gourmand. Yeah, so we'll try that again. I'll try it this time with silver bolts. I think silver bolts would be better, or silver shards. We'll get some potions as well in a sec. So we're just charging our the Vates just to give us kind of a flat amount of weapon damage. Yeah, that did 24,000. So, yep, so we can say silver bolts is definitely the way to go. And having the bloodthirsty means your things hit really hard in the low health, which is nice. And that was that unbuff that was. I'm going to change fire out now just for a second. And obviously, for people curious, it is on the front bar, so the fire is active. I don't think... I've not seen a set that's better than fire from previous testing, but I could be wrong. So if you've got a set that you think is really good, I'm going to try New Moon first, because it's a good set. I think it comes from elsewhere. Is it Southern? Or Northern? It's either Northern or Southern is one of those. Maybe it's Southern elsewhere. But New Moon is a very solid setup. Oak and Soul, Fire, Red Mountain. Yeah, we can do Red Mountain. The one thing with Red Mountain is you have to be quite close to them. There is a range on it, surprisingly. We can go medium armor because medium is better typically. And then we're going to go and switch the back alley set into jewelry and weapons. And we need a bow. Where's their bow? There it is. So this is 30% crit damage, which is really high. New Moon's got loads of weapon and spell damage on it. So 6 medium, 1 light. So this will be like really pushing damage high because these are really high damage sets. And if you do have a setup that you want to see tested, by the way, do say in the chat. I'll get to the fire one in a sec. But my gut feel is I don't think it'll be great. Sage says, what's the highest crit you can get as a Dark Elf? You can pretty much hit the crit cap. You can get to like 90%. So you use like Archer's Mind and Backcaddy command. So we want jewelry enchantments quickly. Jewelry enchant. We want to have a fire glyph on the front bar to keep it the same. Let's say shock glyph. And then this, the bow needs to be going to sharpen too. Okay, so then that's up there again. But yeah, you do something like Archer's Mind with the back alley set, and you get really high crit damage when you come out of stealth. So it's a really good burst. So that's on, New Moon's on, Jewelry's on. We just need to change these. So as long as they're giving us weapon and spell damage, that's the main thing. So that's all there. We need to get some stamina glyphs on these. We want armor. Oh, sorry. We want armor. We're going to go with all stamina. Okay, so then I think this is good to set up now. All divines. And I'll show you what the damage is, but Manti has a flat amount of resistance and impen. So then we can just compare all of these numbers and go, this is the best or not. What do you guys think? Do you think this will be better or worse, this setup? I'm just going to charge the thing. But do you think this can do more damage or less than our Way of the Fire setup? I'm just getting it charged. My gut is going to say less. But I could be wrong on this. Okay, there. We're in range, so we'll let our magicka go up. No, that did 21k damage. We'll try that again. But fire was doing 24k damage last time, and it was 21k, so that was 21k. With bolts, it was 24k fire, so this is 3k less. So this is New Moon plus back alley plus Velothi Mythic. That was 21k. 19k, sorry, not 21k. I'll do it again just to double check. I'm just charging my Vate buff up. And you'll see when we come out of stealth, we have 6k weapon damage, which is a lot on a bow build. That was 24k damage, that was. So it seems similar damage, but you have to get crits. We can check with the combat metrics, but a lot of that seemed like it critted. So 2 crits, 1 crit, 2 crits there, crit. Whereas before there's like no crits. Whereas the fire one, even though like hardly anything critted, it still did like 24k damage. So fire was much more consistent damage, even if it doesn't crit. The Shattered set is from a new thing, isn't it? From Necron. So see if it's got a different name. I didn't see it here though. No, I can't see it here. So we would have to go and craft that, which will be a bit annoying. We could use like Spriggans as an alternative. It's not as good. The Necron item set doesn't have the crafted ones that we want. Yeah, I will test the back alley one in a moment. I think going crits though, the Shatter Fate, sorry, I think going crit, I don't think's helping massively. Our crit chance is not high enough to like benefit from this. So we're going to swap this to fire again, but keep New Moon on, go New Moon and fire. And see how much of a difference this is. We'll grab another Stam Glyph. And then yeah, then we can just compare this to how it was a minute ago. So all Stam, all weapon damage. Manti just sent a message on Discord. Let's have a look. Manti says, what about Order's Wrath and Acuity? We'll try Order's Wrath in a sec. It is a popular setup. My gut is no. But yeah, I don't know. There's a reason I use fire, because I think it's really good. Sherm Dog says he uses Shacklebreaker and fire. Yeah, Shacklebreaker's a solid set. I'm a bit sad it's not as good as it used to be. Back when stats were really like good, you know, Shacklebreaker was like the go-to set, and then they just released loads of like OP stuff. Okay, so we're ready. Yeah, look at that. I told you fire is better. That is so much more damage. That was almost 30k damage, that was, in like on the opening combo. We'll try that again, because that could have just been a very crit lucky setup. Because there's quite a few crits there. With 2 crit snipes, 8.4k snipe. That is a nice snipe, that is. Honestly, I've not found anything better than fire. Like, if I could just run it twice, I would. It's that good. Sage says Drogokin and Drogo's grip. I don't think Drogokin's grip's going to be that useful for this. And I think the Drogokin, is that the one that gives you just major brutality whilst it's on? I think that's the one. It comes from where you get like 5 per sting. Yeah, we can say this is like consistently higher. That is 26 to 30k. That was. Okay, so I think fire is very good. Let's swap New Moon out for Order's Wrath, because I know that's a really popular set. Order's Wrath is crit chance, weapon spell damage, crit chance, and then crit chance plus crit damage. It comes from High Isle. It's a crafted set, which is nice, so it's easy to get. Manti did suggest mechanical acuity. The one thing I would say with acuity is you need to do like lots of consistent damage really fast, and Snipe isn't really like that. So I don't think Acuity would be much use in all honesty. DLC crafted sets, high isle. We want Orders Wrath, and we got all medium body. But yeah, I find this stuff absolutely fascinating, like just seeing what's better, what's not. We'll just grab all of it and then... I need glyphs again. Oh no, yeah, we need glyphs again. I hate that you have to give it glyphs. Orders Wrath. I will also try my crit build. I used to have a crit build that had like 70% crit chance. So although it didn't like one-drop people, it had so much follow-up damage that it could do a lot of pressure to somebody. And that was Leviathan, that was. So we'll try that as well. So this is Manty's suggestion, Orders Wrath. I am still sold on Way of the Fire. Like if you can name a set that's better than Way of the Fire, please say. I'll do Red Mountain in a moment. Brog says, does the damage potion activate Acuity? Not anymore. That did get fixed. Red Mountain is very good. Not quite sure. I've never had much luck with it with a bow. Because it's very slow. So we're buffed up. Okay. You go Snipe. Snipe Silver Bolts. Okay, that was good. I have to admit, that was 28k. I was pretty impressed with that. Orders Wrath. Plus, yeah, that was Orders Wrath plus Fire. Plus Philosophy. That new Mythic is amazing for sniping. Honestly, this new Mythic is like a must in my opinion for damage. It's so good. For context, Manty has 1800 crit resist, so kind of standard and standard armor. Yeah, I saw your suggestion, Mark. I'll try it in a sec. I just find it doesn't proc at max range. It's good on melee gank though. Okay, so we're going to go for the... Oh. Yeah, so that was 20k. So Orders Wrath, it looks like, is 20 to 30k. It's got much more RNG. Whereas the Way of the Fire and New Moon was 24 to 30k, so it was much less crit dependent. Tenacity, I think it's pronounced, says you need a stun. And yeah, you need Magnum Shot. In all honesty, it's kind of... we could use Magnum Shot instead, but we have to be way closer and our Snipe does less damage. So it's Scatter Shot and then Magnum Shot. But yeah, it's just 22 meters, not 28, and it does less damage. So it is an option though for sure. People are saying Red Mountain, so let's get Red Mountain out. That is an overland set. There is a crafter set for the pen, which we can try in a moment too. I'll get that in a sec. And someone also suggested Witch Knight, or whatever it's called, this one here. Yeah, Mike said a high in-pen build would hurt Orders Wrath. Yeah, 100%. This used to be a fun set. This did. But Red Mountain is what we're looking for. So, when you deal damage with a weapon, you spawn Volcano, does 7.8k, 8-second cooldown. Yeah, lots of damage, basically. I just find it's really slow, and I'm 99% sure it has a range cap. Which is why I didn't like it. Because you have to be really, really close to them. And for me, if you're playing a sniper, you want to play like as far back as you can, just to be like really trolly. Shinasi says 1 slime core, Orders Wrath, Gourmand. Yeah, I think with the crit stuff, it swings up and down wildly. I think you can all tell that I love Where the Fire. I think it's such a good set. But I will try Witch Knight and Archer's Mind in the Sex Sage. My gut is it's going to be less than Fire. But I'll be happy to be like proven wrong, because if we can get something that's better, then yeah, great. So that's the burst, and then the fire didn't even land. So you see that the red mountain didn't even shoot. So I'll wait and I'll just show you here. Ready? Watch. There it goes. You have to be close to them. Yep. I think my gut feel is about this distance. It's about 18 meters. It's quite close. Could be even less than that. Nope. Oh no, there it is. So you have to be pretty close for that to work. I also found we can try with Magnum Shot and just see, can we get it to work with Magnum Shot. Sai Kieran says, what about Shell Splitter? Yeah, I want to test that. I need to go and actually craft it though, because it's not in a box. So that will be like one of the last ones I will test. But we do have a lot of pen already. We've got 17k pen. So our penetration is really high. So this is just going to be closer, just to get the fire to go, okay? The red mountain. So we'll charge it up. I think it's good though to show all the different setups, Sage, and then just go, this is what's... Yeah, it feels like it's too slow. I think if you did something like this though, you could probably make it work with this as a combo. Manti, could you CC break this if you can? I'm going to hit you. Manti's put a message as well in chat, I think. He said fire and wrath maybe. Maybe meteor. Meteor is fun when you snipe into meteor. But I'd say Manti's kind of an above average player in PvP. I'm going to stun him. We got PTS lag, so just factor that in. But I want to see if he can avoid it, so we'll try and see can we nuke him. Just to see if like Shadow Mountain's even worth using. My feel was no. See, bad Manti. Oh, he put on sword and shield ult. So yeah, Where the Fire is good, but Shadow Mountain, or whatever you want to call it. There you go. Yeah, light attacking to spec bow is fun. I've got a build coming out called Light Attack Larry, Tenacity, that does exactly that. It uses proc sets. You just light attack and do like 6k damage every 2 seconds. It's stupid. It's really fun though. But it is really, really stupid. So yeah, we can say that didn't work. Bam says, is your target dummy available in the Crown store? We need to like write to Zos and say, can we get Manti added to the Crown store? But yeah, so we had we've tried a few different things. Somebody said that the new Shell Splitter set is a PvP set. He's thinking of, I know the one he's thinking of now, the one that does pen if they're block. That wouldn't work for what we're doing here. I'll show you that on thing quickly though. That is a PvP set, so whatever. Cyrodiil sets. Is it medium? I think it's medium. It's shell splitter, or whatever it is. There it is. So this is a very good set, but it's not great because it's they have to be blocking constantly, so you don't get a lot of pen out of this. In all honesty, you get pen from the like 2-3 pieces here. This is great, but this 5 piece feels wasted. Whereas if you went with something like Spriggans, which is like 3k pen, it's basically this already, and you got extra stats on it. So I think for sniping, I don't think this is that useful personally. Proxy says, where are the fire and Kvatch Gladiator? Yeah, Kvatch Gladiator is an interesting set. We can try that. Where's that? It's a crafted set, but where is it from? So I'm just checking. Yeah, for 2 screens. Dark Brotherhood. Just looking at what it does, I'm going to say no. I'll try it, but my gut is no. That's the 5 piece. Anything below 25% is not great because so the Manti's got 30k health, yeah? Half of 30k is 15k, half of 15k is 7.5k. So at 7.5k health, I then get this this bonus damage. So if I get Manti just do 7.5k and I'll just do 1 snipe, you can see I can pretty much kill him anyway. It's like a snipe into a light attack. Okay. We'll let Manti self go up naturally and we'll just charge. But at 7.5k, it's kind of 25%. That's when we get this bonus damage. I don't know. I don't feel it's going to be that good. Oh, why do you do that? We'll just heavy attack him quickly. We need him below 7.5k. There we go. That's close enough. So 10k there. I'm doing 7k crits. So yeah, I don't think that's going to add enough in all honesty. Mike says, I thought about making a build doing nothing but buffing the enchant damage. Yeah, Torog's Pact and is really good for that. Really good. Heartland Conqueror, however, doesn't do anything useful. It doesn't increase the frequency. So you get a bit more, and you're better for just using Torog's Pact and Way of the Fire, in all honesty. Proxy says Snipe's kill sealer. I'd say if you put that on the beam plar, that set, that would be fun. Kvatch Gladiator on a beam would be insane. That would be ridiculous. Now, one set that's very similar to Way of the Fire is a set from a trial. But you have to have a poison status on them. So we can't really use it. I'm trying to think of any good sets. Archer's Mind is kind of a good one. Red Mountain didn't really do enough for us. New Moon was good. This was solid. It gives us everything we need, really. Just damage and crit, which pen. So we'll just check the New Moon that this is still the best combo. So there's our New Moon. There's our fire. Everything's good to go. And what I wanted to do quickly as well then is change race in a moment. Just see, would a dark elf be better? Wow, we got the wrong skill. There you go. We need to change our skill. Because the best skills, by the way, is silver shards. One thing we can do as well, actually, which I'll do this twice with the current setup, and then change the snipe into focused aim, I think it's called. Oh. Manti says Heartland and Torog's healer with enchant to lower enemy damage for trolling. I love it. Yeah, that'd be really annoying. But that would actually be quite funny to do that. Just go, nope, you're not doing damage to my team. It would actually be really good on like if you use the lightning staff, you could really counter like 1vx players, because you could take like 600 weapon and spell damage from them, which would really affect their healing. But yeah, that's a great idea, Manti. Yeah, so that was 24k burst there. I'm going to change the morph now, the snipe. I think the lethal aim would be better, or whatever, the one that gives a pen. Yeah, so Snatty says you could use a meteor into snipes, and that's definitely an option. I personally don't like having to use an ult to get a kill. Like, you can do that. Toxic Barrage, bomb and a magnum shot into Toxic Barrage is just filth. No, it's actually disgusting. But yeah, so we were after a scroll, weren't we? Store. Utility. Let's grab 10 of those. Bang. So what we want to do is just change our... Oh, I reckon focus aim is going to be the smart move here. It's more pen. Justin says, been having fun with Demise and Defiler. Yeah, that's really fun, that is. I fought with someone doing that, and it's just constant like CC spam. Like every 5 seconds you get something popping up trying to hit you. It's really annoying. Because you spend all your time just trying to roll dodge, not getting stunned. So yeah, I know the setup. If you go 2-bar, you can also get Cellatrix on there for another stun, which is just like more troll. Oh damn it! I didn't mean to do that. But this does seem promising already though. Okay, let's try that again. I think we could burst him actually with just changing that skill. Yeah, the focus aim was 7.8k. That was that's nice. That was. Yeah, poison injection is amazing. It is when you have proc sets because they go off crazy. Okay, so we're gonna just charge up our Vate. So this is Way of the Fire plus New Moon. Manti has 30k health. Can we kill him? I'm gonna say yes. I'm going on a limb here. I'm gonna say yes. I think the skill will do it. Oh no. Okay. Ignore that. I had no crits there. Okay, that setup is really dependent on crit damage. I was too far away to get the first crit, so then it didn't really give enough in the follow-ups. Because if you get the first crit right, this crits too. And then your fire crits and your burning crits. Manti, you have to move a bit forward, like just sort of around here. Thank you. Just makes it a bit easier to do this on the stairs. There you go. Okay, now I'm at max range. That's probably why. If you're not at max range, you don't get the bonus snipe damage, which is passive in the bow skill. So that goes there, that goes there. So we've got all of us on. Yeah, so we're really dependent on crit damage. So actually the focus aim isn't actually doing anything useful. Yeah, no, that was less, a lot less. Let's change the morph back. That's all we changed, was just the skill morph. Which you would think this would do more damage. But obviously the poison injection, the tick counts on the poison, so you're getting that bonus damage there. So Heartland buffs the infused trait, but it buffs the damage, not the cooldown. I've tested. I made a video on it. It annoyed me because I wanted to try and do exactly that to get the cooldown to 1 second. To just spam and it doesn't work. Yeah, 4 spell shell splitter could be a good option. The question is what monster set though. Yeah, so that was already more already. That was like 23k. Yeah, let's try that. I like Justin's idea. 4 spell shell splitter that seems like a really good shout. The question is what monster set. Like you could use Cellatrix, which will give us a stun, which we don't have, so that could be quite helpful. Malagda, how do you say that? Balorg is good on the bow ult. That's like filth. That is. But yeah, shell splitter. It's a cyrodiil set, isn't it? You use it for the ult, yeah. Cyrodiil sets. That was medium, isn't it? Medium cyrodiil sets. Yeah, Hawkeye is not great, by the way. Don't use that. I had somebody suggest this to me, and that's not good. I read what Nomad said. Okay, let's go grab this. We don't need 4 of these, but we've got them all. So we need to take New Moon off. Oh, we keep that one actually. I'm gonna go get rid of New Moon. Bye, New Moon. New Moon was very good. I do like New Moon. But yeah, I think the 4 piece is quite a good idea. Because we can change this to a monster set. I don't know what that monster set does though, so I'm going to Google it and just see what it does, okay? When you deal direct damage, 12 meters, yada yada yada. I put it in chat so you can have a look. Okay, it's going to be in 2 parts. So, part 1, that's part 2. The last bit says damage, spell damage, there you go. When you deal direct damage to a target within 12 meters, create a 5 meter area that after 1 second quickly moves forward. Dealing shock damage to enemies, applying an evasion, causing target to take times of crit damage. That seems much more like a melee gank. I don't know how it would work on a bow. I think Balorg would probably be better, but you could use 2 one-piece monster sets in all honesty. So we could go with something like, what's our pen? Can we get a pen? Yeah, we could use Valken Scoria with this. And it will give us really, really high pen. So you want monster sets, the other ones. Because Valken Scoria has pen on it. This is also a fun set. This is really good. Want a medium shoulder. I will try Balorg as well, just to see. Pen. For that, so our pen should be like 20k, yeah. That's mad, that is. Who would have thought like you could have like 20k pen on this bow build now? And this is no CP. Yeah, I'll have a look, I will, at the monster set. I always find with the PTS, after week 3 you can kind of start to test stuff, but beforehand it's a bit hit and miss. I reckon week 4 there are going to be a few changes to the Arcanist. Because that feels really bad in PvP, like just as a bad class to play. It's like, why use an Arcanist when you can be a DK? That's kind of the current thinking I'm at the moment. Yeah, that did 20k. That was not a lot. Arch Druid is good. That's a good monster set. Now, was our crits good? $7.4k pen. The fire was 2.7k crit. That's mad. That is. That fire alone was almost 5k damage just by itself. I've got another 1 bar build on the way for the Necro. I just haven't had a chance to actually edit it. But I was deliberately making like 1 bar builds for every class. Okay, so this is fully up there. There we go. So that was 25k. So it feels like this just going essentially loads and loads of pen. Not great. What we can do actually as well by doing this, just as a quick 5 piece, if you did 1487 times, I think it's 5 we've got 4 of these, haven't we? Times 4. That's 5.9k. Or basically 6k pen. So that new set called I forgot his name now, the 12-piece set though. Yeah, I forgot his name. It's the one that gives you like 7k pen on a 5-piece. I hit my record button, so you might have saw my little animation pop up. Sorry about that. Nomad says, when you hit snipe, just hold left click as it fires. It's just sort of habit. I normally like push it manually. We'll just charge up quick. Your orders and command is going to be good for just high crit damage. So anybody without impen is just going to melt. Yeah, so that's 22k. You might also go, why am I doing snipe, light attack, bolts rather than snipe, light attack? Often, because of the range in PvP, you don't always get that damage like kind of where you want. And so it'd be like people run away and you kind of miss a light attack or something and it can mess up the animations. So I find just doing pure like 2 snipes in a row is more reliable, but the servers have been fixed somewhat, so this should not be an issue anymore. But yeah, I feel this setup, Shower Splitter, was not as good as New Moon. New Moon did hit quite a bit harder. I'm going to go back to New Moon quickly, because I think this is kind of the good setup that we got. We need New Moon here. We need Fire here. Wherever that is. And then what I want to do is just change my race after this. Just do a test or two. Change my race just to see, is a Khajiit or Dark Elf better? Because the thing with crit damage is if you don't have a high enough base damage pool, the crit damage doesn't actually help. Yeah, so that's 22k, that was by itself. Yeah, the Bloodthirsty though definitely is the way to go for traits, by the way. If you haven't seen that, Bloodthirsty is significantly more damage. Like when you struggle to execute people, that bonus is so noticeable. So we've got 22k there with like low crits. I want to try my Leviathan build as well. I had a build was 72% crit chance. It was like stupid. it was really good fun though. Because sometimes just having things crit can actually be enough of a boost to like offset a lack of a proc. Yeah, so again that was 22k reliably, that was. Okay, so we're going to change race. And if there are any sets you do want to see tested, do shout. Sage is saying about the Arcanist. That is kind of good for PvE. It's really good in PvP, so it's what Dragonite is to PvP. Yeah, I think he's pretty much right with that. I put the thing right at the start. I can't remember the video. It's like 20ish, something like that. 18k, 1800 crit resist. But the idea is that the way to see what's best is if the target has the same defense. It doesn't matter if it's 50k or 20k, as long as you can't over pen the target, which we don't have enough pen to do that, we're fine. And you find that the best form of damage in the game for PvP is typically pen and crit damage. Crit damage is the best if you can get high crit chance. But then there's kind of a relationship between crit damage and pen. That if you don't have enough pen, the crits aren't going to hit hard. It's just you kind of need to have like a mix of all of them, with kind of pen being the most prevalent. In all honesty, Tenacity says Arcanist was a blast, but you're right. Everything else in the game, in the same gear, does better. Yeah, I think that's it really. I played and my Nomad says Khajiit is master race for ganking. Now let's jump back to Mantius and put our things on. Now for a stat page, Dark Elf looks really good for a stat page. Whether it's better or not, I don't know. Manti says 22k. He's got flat, so it's just a good base to kind of go. But yeah, I think I played the Arcanist on like the launch day, did some battlegrounds, and my initial thoughts were like, it has no burst. There's no burst. There's no burst heal against, and this was against like multiple people using the Arcanist. I was like, if I get like against a DK or a Sulk, and they're doing like 15, 20k burst in 2 seconds, how are you meant to heal? Like your heal's this beam that is like, zzz, and it just is good, but you've got like a second cast. And that's like that, and that was all the issue with burst skill. It was a really cool skill, but it just didn't hit often. So like you cast it, you just spend ages trying to hit the target. We're just charging this up. So will this be better? This will tell us as well whether we're actually missing weapon damage or crit damage. Because we have the pen. Yeah, that was 25k with very few crits. So it looks like we don't need crit damage, we need pen, weapon damage, sorry, because our pen's high enough. We'll do that again though, just a couple times. Manti has 4 in pen and 3 well fitted, kind of the default for PvP. You can use reinforce, but I don't rate reinforce as a trait. You need to stack so much of it to be worthwhile. Yeah, I'd just rather have less crit damage. Right, so we're going to go again. So it was 25k. That was 26k. So Dark Elf is consistently hitting harder. We'll do one more, just to check. Sage says he saw someone say Arcanist was melting DKs. Yeah, that's they must have got that the wrong way around. I've not seen anybody competent use Arcanist without procs to fix the damage. The honestly felt burst, full burst lately was 13k was the sweet spot. I was at 20k and didn't feel as good. Well, the pen, so most of our pen comes from this mythic, but this mythic is phenomenal. This is like the gank mythic. It's insane. Like, anybody who says this doesn't work in PvP is wrong. This is ridiculous. Like, this is stupidly good. The whole proc said that. I don't really have much time to watch many other creators, to be honest. Joy's working full time. So we can go. Pew. Yeah, so 26k. So Dark Elf is like, it is consistently higher every single time. I still think Fire is the best proc set we have. The question is, what do you pair with it? I want to try Leviathan now, which I know sounds really odd. It's a dungeon set. It is pretty good. SH says Templar's beaten the snot out of an Arcanist. Templar, though, is really, really good. It's a dungeon set, so up here, dungeon sets. Base game. Medium. This is good. I personally think this is overlooked a lot, this set. Because it does a lot more than people realise. So our crit chance, it's now 47%. So yeah, it will go up quite a lot. Crypto Hearts. Yeah, 47%, that's mad, that is. Yeah, I made a video using this on a gank build, and I had like 70% crit chance, because this was when they had the old, you got given crit chance with medium armor, so this was like really good. Let's put my buffs on. Yeah, look at that, 26k. Tenacity said, your mag gave me a bad taste. Well, on a brawling setup, been wanting to see it on a proc gank. It's going to be really good, this set, this mythic. Like, honestly, this is going to be so good. So yeah, so that hit like as hard as New Moon, just because of how much more we're critting. So we'll charge up again. Used to gank with dual dagger Leviathan. Look at that, 27k. So yeah, we could try something a bit mad. Let's go with something mad, okay? This is mad, but hear me out, alright? So we need to go to overland sets, and we need to go with light armor overland sets. I'm gonna go with Mother Sorrow. So we want a weapon and jewellery, and we want a chest. No, you'd obviously move this to a sash. And we go for weapons and jewellery too. So let's get our bow. And where's our jewellery? Sandra's going low. Honestly, crit damage is really good. It's really underestimated. One Snipe instead of Krog, then put Newman on the back bar. Yeah, but Krog will be good. So Snipe for just the crit chance. There is a limit with how much crit chance you can actually stack though, before it becomes not effective. So let's just go and... Because although our damage is going to look low on the stat page, because we have bloodthirsty, when we get them low, we're critting so much. You know, we're going to get a boost with a boost, if that makes sense. So it's like double dip. All divines. Back and not on the back, not the back bar. So a triple bloodthirsty there. We'll get our glyphs for the damage. But yeah, I find this stuff absolutely fascinating because it gives us really just useful info to kind of see what's good. I know it says magical harm, but it does give us weapon and spell damage, so it doesn't make any difference. Okay, so we're all stamina still, so we've got everything stacked for like damage. Leviathan is, I'm going to swap it out in a sec just to see, but because I'll probably swap out Mother, sorry for it. But my gut is this ain't going to do a lot of damage. Our crit chance though, 58%, that's pretty good that is. But if you go Orders Wrath and Leviathan, we can go 7 medium. Oh, look at that, that did no damage. So, we can say doing that is not good, but we can go with Orders Wrath, which we have as well. We can just swap that out really quickly. Because it's very similar to Leviathan, but we get the bonus crit damage. So we still have like 56% crit chance, but we have the 8% damage. Manti says, everyone have 20k pen, DK ult strips armor completely, speed is king. Yeah, you just play the DK. It just seems like an easier solution. Like, I know a lot of people give DKs a lot of crap, but they are pretty OP. I don't know if any of you guys saw Is There No One Else's video about DK ages ago, where he was just using no armor and the corrosive and was just killing people. It was ridiculous. I was just like, this is insane. He's got a weapon and just an ultimate, and that's all he's doing. And that shows you how strong it is, that if you can just use an ultimate and stay alive and kill. See, that was 25k burst, that was. That was good. I found when I did this previously, I had more luck with poisons rather than a glyph, because the poisons can crit. So we'll put on double dot poisons quick. DK is a Templar of 2017. Elder DK online. I am pleased though, my Doppler build does counter DKs really harshly. Because it has so much sustained damage, DKs don't have like good heal over time, they've just got massive burst heals. And because it has so much just pressure, they have to spam it, so they run out of mag really quick. Yeah, 25k, and you can deal with the crits there. Crit. Okay, I'm going to change back to a Khajiit. We got 25k with this setup quite consistently. But with a Khajiit we get more crit damage, and because obviously we have high crit chance, we might get more damage overall. So let's just try that. Tenacity says Damn Silk has more burst than Nightblade. Changed my mind. I'm just going to say 30,000 spec bow. I think that's pretty much all you need to say to that. I think every class has burst in some capacity. It's just how it lines up. That's kind of the issue. Shemdog said he's had a lot of fun using the 1-bar Magden. It's so easy and can melt people. Yeah, 1-bar Magden's really good. I think because it has like the Master's Ice Staff it is made for that class. You know, you get the ice passive as a warden, you get bonus damage, you got the chilled status, which is like another dot. You got the dot on the ice staff. It's just really, really good. Oh, Tenacity's going, I'm hitting 35k. Oh, sorry. No, only 5,000 off. Like, I do appreciate if I get ganked. I do appreciate if it's a good gank. I'm like, yeah, fair enough. You got me when I had my sort of pants down type thing. But a lot of the time you just see people really fail at ganking, and it's one of those things. It's either really good or it's really bad. But yeah, again, if I got hit with a 30k spec bow, I'd be pretty livid. I'm not gonna lie. DK Man and Warden Wonder. I am a bit sad. I used to have a build called the Heavy Attack Hero. So this was before people started making heavy attack builds, and I made one for DK because they had like crazy buffs. And I took it in BGs, and I was like doing, I think it was 20k heavy attacks with a shock staff that you can't dodge. There's videos on the channel. It's like 2 years old, and they nerfed it the following patch because it was ridiculously OP. Yeah, I had a period of time where I was just making really stupid builds. So this was with no crit passive, 22k. Let's put our passives in now. At 12% crit damage. Ooh, that could be a lot of bonus damage. But I think we've kind of... There's definitely some conclusions that I can draw from what we've done so far tonight. There's Manta. Let's go and get our buffs up. There you go, okay. We're all good to go. This should hit quite a bit harder. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I was meant to go and cloak. There you go. Let's do that again. So we'll just charge this up quick. So we're getting about 25k we were as a Dark Elf with this kind of setup. That's 24k. You go for a lot like that. I wonder about Sheer Venom and Fire as a combo. What do you guys think of using Sheer Venom? So it comes from White Gold Tower or something like that. It's a DLC dungeon set. We can also try Scavenging Demise, but this misses loads. That's why it is a good set. It just misses a lot. Whereas Sheer Venom, it's 1,000 damage, it's 500 damage, so it's a K damage every second. I don't know, it just doesn't feel like it's a lot of good damage actually, does it? Because it's 3,400 over 6 seconds, so it's like 500 roughly a second. If you get the bonus 100%, it's 1,000 every second. And I'm just looking at my Way of the Fire and going, that's 1,000 damage a second, effectively. But I think using this much crit is just not the way to go, in all honesty. It feels like fire is like the best proc set for sniping, damage-wise. So I'll show you Scavenging the Rise, and I'll show you what it does. It's very hit and miss. We'll just charge that up. So that's like 24k instantly. Just so much damage. Venomous will give you a dot AoE where the fire double dot procs. Yeah, Smite's dot though isn't big. It's like a really small dot. And if I go as a dot build, I might as well just run my Templar. It's a lot better. It's like really busted. Briarheart, that heals you, doesn't it? Like, we can make a dot build, a dot bow build. That's definitely an option. What I want to just show you really quick as well. Let me just take this one off and put fire here. And I'm going to just put on the... Got to reload UI. Stupid. Yep. I want to just show taking that mythic off that we've been using tonight and just see how much of a difference it is. And kind of basically, is this mythic a necessity? It kind of feels like it. You know, we're getting... Essentially, we're doing almost all these health bar with like 2 skills. Or 3 skills, which is insane. So we'll put on Wild Hunt. Just to go, look, it's a like... Still 3 bloodthirsty, so still the same. Fire plus anything else is kind of the best. Order's Wrath is not a bad combo, I quite like that. Yeah, similar. That was similar. Did I get loads of crits in that one? I felt like lots of crits that time. Just demarking. Yeah, I had loads of crits that time. It's like crit. But you can see that was 7k, 6k that last one. Whereas before the like 7,000 plus every single one. Tenacity says just do Marken. We can use Marken. I don't rate it as a mythic. I just find it's an absolute pain to get. That's partly why I don't like it. Mythic items. So Deadlands, isn't it? I think it is. So it's like an extra 300 weapon and spell damage. 200, there you go. So it's not loads of damage, but it is 3 damage. Briarheart gets 450 weapon damage. We tried New Moon, which was 402 plus the 129, so it was like 500. Yeah, you get similar results, you do. If you get loads of crits, it's very good. Like, I know I'm missing the wrong glyph on that, but it was only 6,100, so you got like 100 extra damage on the snipe. Compared to the, if I go to the other mythic, so I'll take this one off. And I know you're missing like the 174 weapon damage glyph from that, but it won't be a big difference on that tooltip. It felt like this was hitting a lot harder, the new Mythic. So we're just charging this up, and then we can try Oakensall next. Because I think we kind of got a pretty good gauge of what 2-bar ones can do. Yeah, we've tried loads of different sets. Yeah, that's 26k, that was first. And that was with just poisons. Take poisons off. And I think that was 7.2k was the initial hit. Yeah, 7.2k, so that Mythic alone just added 1100 for like higher than Marken, and it's to everything silver shards, 3.7k. You know, the new Mythic is is a must. In all honesty, if you want to snipe, you need the Mythic as kind of a non-negotiable. Using a glyph this time just to see, can we do it? Can we burst him? He's at 25k health, so we should be able to. Mantua, to put your food on. I've used a 1-bar sniper tenacity. I've got one on the live server. They're okay. We'll let them get some passive health regen. I find with the 1-bar snipers, you have to sacrifice a lot of utility. So you basically just pure damage and hope you don't die. Whereas on this you can run like multiple heals and a movement skill. Right. $23k. I was a bit too far away to get the first crit. You have to literally, in order to get the glyph to crit, by the way, on that first snipe, you need to be like bang on 28 meters, or it doesn't crit properly. So I'll do that again. You'll see what I mean. But yeah, we'll go Oakensall next. This I don't think is going to help our damage massively. Like I think it will be less than this new Mythic. There's no getting around that. You get less crit damage. You're getting 5k less pen for essentially the same buffs and a bit more weapon damage. So we're just pushing this up, and then what we'll do is we'll just make a quick note at the end of kind of what we found. Yeah, 26k. So, yeah, I think with the 2-bar build, Way of the Fire, I can't think of any other sets that's going to be similar to that. Because we need a set that says when you deal damage, it's kind of what the proc has to be. And there isn't many sets that do damage a good amount anyway. Because like Ashen Grip would be something similar, but it's melee damage. You have to be next to them, which is a bit, and you have to melee damage. It's annoying. I'm just checking the website to see like if there's any other sets, but I can't think of anything good. Like Calorian's Legacy is just too slow. That's not viable. Scavenging Demise gets roll dodged all the time. Defiler can be okay. It's just very slow, if I recall, the proc on it. We can try it and see what it does. That's a medium armor set, if I recall. Medium armor over. Yeah, 3.7. It's not huge, but it is a stun. So we'll try that with fire. Does look really nice as a set though. I like how this looks. Right, and yeah, so let's try this. My gut is it's way too slow. Because like it takes ages to land. I'm not on Oaken just yet. That's why. I'll be in a second. I just want to just check this. Then we'll try Oaken Soul in a moment. So just charging this up. And then it's him. Do you see how slow that is? The Bloodthirsty though, that is a game changer. That is so good. I'm definitely doing this on live. 100%. We could try something like this. Just try and make it land, but then I feel like we could just use Red Mountain. Or Chlorine's Legacy at this point. There's one other thing I want to try, which should give us similar damage to Way of the Fire. Manti said check PM. I have thought about Winterborn before Manti. It doesn't proc with a Ice Glyph. I've tried that. It's really depressing. Otherwise, that would be like definitely a thing. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Manti, you like to heal up quickly, and then we'll try if we can kill him. Use Way of the Fire and Icy Conjurer to focus aim. So Manti's got himself. Yeah, so you could do that. That's quite trolly, that is. I'm going to do that again, Manti. I want you to try and... If you run around, and I'll just do it at some point, okay? So you just move around, and I'll do my best to... hit you with the combo and just see, can you survive it? Can Manti survive the combo? So we're just going to spend our time charging. Yeah, so you can literally see. Oh, that was a heavy attack, 3k 300 damage, it's terrible that is. Oh, he hit me with spell wall. That was a good spell wall. So yeah, the Defiler set is so easy to avoid. Yeah, what do you guys think of Defiler? Like, do you think it's actually any good? And a notification. But yeah, we can try Oaken Soul now, and we can take the Defiler off. That was not doing anything good. Order's Wrath was good though. We're going to go to Oaken Soul and just see how that is. Tenacity says scavenging is hard to proc to, right? It's not hard to proc. I'll show you really quick just because it is a popular setup. We need to delete some sets we don't need. We don't want Gourmet, that was terrible. And so Defilers. Red Mountain didn't help us. Shelter's Blizzard wasn't great. The Swamp Raider was terrible. We did the crit stuff and it just doesn't do enough damage. Because the base tooltip on the Snipe is too low. So even if you get 100% damage, like bonus damage on that, it's, you know, 15k. It's just not. Whereas 100% damage on this is 30k. That's going to be quite a big damage boost. And that's the problem with well, Gourmand you can use as a thing, and we have 20k pen. That we've got more than enough pen to basically just bypass a lot of his armor. Scavenge Demise is a dungeon set. I think it is a DLC dungeon set. Down here somewhere. Here it is. So Scavenging Demise is a good set. It's just it doesn't land often. Or I've not been able to find a way to make it land reliably. It's kind of the issue that I've had with it. So it's got a 2-second proc. So they have like 2 seconds to react. So I'll damage Manti with it and then we'll just see what he thinks really. Can he kind of escape it? I think as well when you're in melee it is very different. Because melee weapons have more weapon spell damage than bows. So if you look at the this is 1300, this is 1500, and so that does make quite a difference. So I've got the magnum shot as well, okay? So you see a lot of people do stuff like this. And so he's dodged the thing already. And that's the issue I find with Demise is it's good, it's just not great. And even then it hit him. It just doesn't do enough damage. It feels like it catches people who are running away or just aren't paying attention. A bow is Thief Minder's like crit chance. Not so much. Because if you look at the bow, it is crit chance, but it doesn't have any damage, is the problem. So the weapon damage, like melee weapons have higher base weapon damage. And then you got the heavy weapon passives, which gives it more pen. So then it like double dips, whereas bow doesn't have anything that buffs its damage. And staff's the same. You can literally just take the same set. Yeah, Justin says he uses both. Let's put on both just for the lols. We need to get rid of some other sets. I need more inventory space, who would have thought that? Yeah, if I use Oakensaw, I would take off Camo Hunter. It's not needed. Where's Defiler? A bow and I need a mythic. The Nightblade execute's not good. The range one is terrible. In all honesty, I don't think it's worth it. The issue I have with the range execute is that it just doesn't do enough. There you go. So we've got fire and scavenger and on. So if I look at the ranged execute, for example, Assassin's Blade, Impale, it's 330% more damage when they're below 25% health. If he's below 25% health, he's got like 7,000 health left. I'm hitting him for 7k on my spammable. I don't need the bonus damage. He's already low enough. And that's the problem with the execute. It doesn't have its... You can hit high, but hitting somebody for 26k when they have 3k health is pointless. They're still going to die if you hit them for 5k. Is kind of my point. The melee one, however, is way better because it scales from 50% down, so you can get a lot more bonus damage much earlier. I think that's the problem with it. He dodged both. It is quite fun though, having all the little pets just doing damage. He keeps dodging them, doesn't he? This sums up the state of the game though, that if someone just runs around and just spams heals, you can't really kill him easily. So yeah, I don't think Impale is that great. I can try it and just show you kind of... We'll switch to Open Soul quickly. We'll take that one off quick. Fire. Let's go Oaken Soul. And then we want fire here. Fire here. Yeah, I think it's... But when you get hit, it has a massive red circle around them. So the people that you're hitting, they're just not reacting to it. The circle's huge. And it like pulses as like, you're going to get hit. 1, 2, roll. Now, does every person roll it? No. But I think it's, for me, it doesn't do enough. Is kind of my point. It's good. But it's kind of one of those sets that really punches people that don't react well. So like in mid-year, it'll be amazing. Because people... You know, you've got a lot of PvE players in there, so it'll be really, really good. Okay. I'll try the Impale. There. We would use bow as well. It's weird not being able to bar swap again. So used to it. So I went for the Impale and the first one missed. So the first one didn't do any bonus to execute because he wasn't low enough. The second one though did, but it was only like 7k. Now I think if you did something like this though, you might be able to get more luck with it. It's good to hold people who don't want to leave a flag. Yeah. I'd say it's not terrible, it's just... I've never had much luck with it. It's kind of my point. You can tell Manti wants to not get hit by snipes anymore. So it's good for that. That was good. That was 10k crit, that was. So it works well for things like that. But when you got Bloodthirsty already on, you're getting a lot of bonus damage. You can go mad things with Nightblades. Why is the Manti rolling? Yeah. That's just trolly. That's fit to 1300, that is. So if he's not below health, if he's not below 25% health, like Impair does no damage. Manti, right to drop block a sec. So that's 4.2k, just silver bolts. 4.3k. Manti, do you mind me getting you below 25% health? Anytime soon. Just Toxic Barrage is so good. But yeah, no, I just want to just show that the Impale it's not as good as it looks. So if I get Manti to 25% and I'll just use Silver Shards. So I'm just going to get him slow. So he's on 20%, 20%, 22%. 23%. So if I want to do light attack silver bolts, he's dead. Like, the Impale isn't needed because his health is so low already. You can just use a spammable, is kind of my point. Now, if they have a shield, then it's a different story. So we'll do that again just to show the Impale difference. Hey, Toxic Barrage is 61 with just these sets. But like, if it did Impale here, no damage there, but if it did it again, 7k. But I was still able to kill him with a light attack poison injection. I think F Pixel's right. He's saying using poison injection is probably better. Because it's got that 4k initial hit, but it does scale up, and you get the dot as well. So we can try it with poison injection just to check. I found on an Oaken Soul bow build you need more dot pressure because you just don't have as much flat damage. 4.7k with the bow. So yeah, that's kind of my take on Impale. With the Oaken Sword, the damage is less. It's like you can notice it. And we can enchant this, but I don't think that's gonna make a huge difference. Where's jewelry? I want that damage. I might need to just get another box out. So we go and grab. That'll do. It doesn't give us. It does give us physical resist to damage. Okay. We'll switch to bloodthirsty as well, just to be consistent. Manti, can I do just a typical gank, like just to compare the damage? I was doing like 25k consistently with 2 bars, and just see would Oaken Sword really limit the damage. If you want to maximize damage, you could camo won't really help, but just anything from here gives us more weapon and spell damage from here. So any of these will help if you want to try and just eke damage. We've put the CP off for the moment, F-Pixel, because the results kind of having done CP and no CP, you get 6% more damage done, but they get 6% damage reduced, or 3%, because most people run 1 or 2. So you get kind of, it's a similar net gain or loss in most cases. So that's 29k. That was lots of crits there though. That's good crits. So we can do that again. I think the bloodthirsty though is the way to go. Manti has 24,000 armor and 1800 crit resist, so it's kind of like it's a typical build of the debuffed. Yeah, so 23k that time. So we definitely have the burst. Like you can see, like this is the damage is definitely here. Manti's checked, it was 22k. We'll do that once more. There's one set I can try which I haven't tried yet, but I think that could give us more damage too, and we could change the skill, which will probably normalise our damage even against tanky people. Yeah, so that was 21k then. Let's change our skill quickly. We found for people kind of using a normal because it's an execute tenacity, so is why I don't like it, because it's really bad. Most melee executes are below 50%, and you get so when they're below 50%, you get the scaling, like with Executioner. Yeah, so I don't use an execute because Impale just doesn't do enough, and poison injection even still is not great. If I were to use an execute, I'll use poison injection because it's a dot and it can proc. It can proc the Way of the Fire on cooldown, which is nice. But honestly, you don't have a good range execute. In all honesty, you know, if you go that's 4.2k, this is 8k. This is double the damage already. So if you go, well, even if this is double damage, this is still hitting similar like damage, and it's cheap. It's also got a massive range, 36 meters. That is insane. So that's kind of the problem that I see with Impale, and it's why nobody really uses it. Yeah, 22k there. There's one other set I want to try, and it's a crafted set. I think it's Night Mother's Embrace. I think that's what it's called. But basically, it gives you Major Breach. Not that one. It's not the Embrace. It's another Night Mother one. Night Mother's Gaze. There you go. This is a crafted set from Bankore. So we'll grab this and try this quickly. I think this could be good. So the Philo was hit and miss, in all honesty. Literally. It literally was hit and miss. This Mythic is the best for 2 bars, and it's the best for damage. Scavenging, it hits like a truck, but it just misses loads. Red Mountain, same story. Leviathan's not bad actually, surprisingly. Swamp Raider's terrible, New Moon's decent. We want to go and get a crafted set. So it's Overland crafted set. Okay, I need to get it from there. Crafted sets. I don't know where my crafted sets are. The neutral. Nope. Lions crafted sets. Bankore. There you go. That's it. Sorry about that. So the plan is, like with this, we'd have major and minor breach. Now we will over-penetrate Manti. I don't know, and we might not with this setup. We will with the other setup. This one I don't think we will actually. With Oakensoul. I think we would over-pen with a different one. So I think this would be slightly better. Tenacity asked about yeah, so the Bloodthirsty, it scales down, it does. So if you don't look at Bloodthirsty in the sense of it's 350 damage when they're below 90% health, it's not like that. It's as they get low and lower, you get more and more bonus damage. So when they get to about 70% damage, 70% health, it's like the bonus of infused weapon damage. So anything below 70% health is a net gain with Bloodthirsty, if that makes sense. So like the bonus you get on infused weapon damage is like 120, which is roughly about 70% health. Anything below that 70% health threshold, you will get more damage with Bloodthirsty. Because our initial combo puts everybody below that percentage anyway, it means we have much more killing power on the follow-up hits. So the first hit will get them below 70. Every other hit from then onwards will do even more. If that makes sense. So it's like oddly worded. We've got 12k here. Manti has 24k armor, so we won't be able to over-pen him with this setup. But yeah, it's literally just a flat. Every 1% you get bonus. Yeah, look at that. 27k damage. That was good, that was. But what is the value? Because yeah, so but the initial hit is landing. So if you look at my combat metrics, yeah, I think this setup is good. It's loads of pen, loads of damage, and this you can run on live, by the way. This is what I'm going to run on my Oakensoul. I think it's crafted as well. It's really easy to get. I've really got fire. Just to show what the thing's doing, I'm just going to light attack. So that was just one light attack with my fire and glyph proccing. Again, so you see that the light attacks will just keep going up. Just because he's getting lower and lower health. So it's not a macro, if that's what you're thinking. It's to do with travel time. So if you imagine when I'm over here, I push skill 1, which then I'm in the middle of animation. Skill 1 then shoots. I then push skill 2 again. So the first one's in the air over here, whilst I've just finished firing the second one. So what happens is the first one hits. It goes bang, bang, like that. And then I do a light attack poison, silver bolts or poison injection, which will then land shortly after the second snipe. So it lands really quick altogether, but the game updates because they're all slightly apart from one another, which is why this works and why we have to be at range. You see, look, so that will hit there. Then those two all land together. If that makes sense. Yeah. So the first arrow of Snipe will have no bloodthirsty proc because it's not there, but everything after it, because it's based on the damage done to the target. It's not when you cast it. So if you imagine like the target has a debuff, basically, that's kind of the best way of thinking it. Yeah, this is definitely the way to go. So for the combo, it's focus aim, light attack, silver bolts. You could replace silver bolts for poison injection, which I'll do that now just to show that. This is good against tankier targets if you have a platform with like loads of healing, because you have a lot more. You just want more pressure on them. So you can see, because the initial hit is so low, but the poison injection will tick on him, and the fire can tick. The fire just crit for 2k, 2.5k fire. That's mad, that is. So, if you want burst, silver bolts. If you want sustained damage, you use poison injection. If you went to use change the mythic out for a sec, and put on the other mythic with the same sets. So this is like the gank mythic. This is amazing. We should, I'm hopeful, be able to kill him, and we'd have effect like 23k pen, which is like mad. But yeah, I think Nightmother's Embrace is a very, very good set for this. Ooh, it's like one of obvious. But yeah, I think the damage is very similar. Between Oakensoul or this one, you get very similar damage. It feels like you need more crit damage though with the 2x one. So the Oakensoul one's easier to play in all honesty, just because you've got less skills to push. Because the light attack doesn't do anything, it doesn't do mad. Ash has just said, what are we using? We're using Nightmother, Embrace, and Fire. Solid setup, basically. Like, it is really decent. You can change this morph. It's 2k stamina, it's not huge. Yeah, you can't use Sea Serpent, sadly. We can change the skill and show what it will be with the base stam cost. I think it's the same. I don't think they give an AoE penalty. Maybe I'm wrong. So yeah, that's 2k stam. It's the same amount of stamina whether it's AoE or not. So Silver Leash just costs more, but the others are the same. So you might as well just get the bolts, it's 3 damage. But yeah, I think we've kind of got what is the good setup for this. So we're here. I think if it was me, I'd probably use Oakensol. I think for this, it's just easy to use. There's less skill spam. And just accept that you will die at times. Yeah, so 9k is like one combo off ears. It feels like the Oakensol one, it actually hits harder. Which we'll try that again, but yeah, it feels like the Oakensol one was hitting harder, surprisingly. And there's less buff. So, same sets, literally just changed Mythic. Yeah. It's because you can get the light attack on there. That's the difference. So, if you want to use the new Mythic, as mage thing, yeah, I'm just using it as a... Yeah, I'll try it in a sec, Tenacity. I might need to get some sets out, move some stuff around. But I think my gut will be low. Yeah, I'm just using it for the damage passive F pixel. In all honesty, if I were to do this as a build, I'd probably use Meditate and go Deep Thoughts and do this. Just because we've got no sustain on this build. Like, our sustain is garbage. You could use Crushing Weapon with Oakensol for sure, instead of Silver Bolts. I definitely like Bloodthirsty though. So you're saying to use a Crushing Weapon, which gives us the Major Breach anyway, which is it's a really good option actually. And to be fair, that's something I didn't think of. So I can swap this out really quick to go to Order's Wrath was really good. Actually, I was really impressed with this. More so than I'd like to admit, because it was solid for what we're doing here. The only thing we will have is we won't have a lot of the pendant for the initial combo, because you have to. We might have to change our combo. Something like that. That was pretty good though, I like that. Okay, that's pretty good as a little combo. So that's just Lethal Arrow, Light Attack, the Elemental Weapon thing. It's within 2 seconds. We might be able to make this work actually. Maybe we start with this, and so then so we can do it like that, but that's not going to help. Need that to fall off quickly. So I'm going to start with that stamina. Because of the travel time, I don't think you can reliably get this off if you pre-buff it. Yeah, Bloodthirsty is like the way to go, 100%. Like that was a big damage boost that I think is overlooked, or I overlooked it myself, because it used to be like garbage in PvP. I'll try it again. So what I'm trying to do is do that and then go into my skill and then light attack. I don't think we get enough. The range is good though. No, that didn't fire. Why did that stun him? I'm not being... Okay, I want to try that again, Manti. You got stunned for some reason. And I want to know why. I know you can stun from stealth or like PvE mobs. Monkey says, it's on his Google account, crushing weapons up. Crushing weapon, yeah, really good. Oh, it does a stun, does it? I've not really used this much. Why does it do a stun? It doesn't say it should stun. I can't see of any passive. Yeah, but that's just your light attack. Your light attack should be doing that anyway, and it's not. So maybe that's a bug. Okay, we're doing this. This is ridiculous. Sharpened 9-breaker. Yeah, that's definitely a bug. Because no other skill does that. Okay, if this fixes the stun, I'm going to be abusing this. Because this is, like, that's the one thing Nightblade's been lacking for ages. Is it just that morph as well? Or is it the other one? Because you can literally just do something like this. You can literally just go... Oh. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Let me get my thing up. Tell the world. Yeah, Tenacity's going like, what the F? Like, this should not be a thing. I've not seen pulls out notepad. Yeah, it's definitely a bug. But knowing like Zorce's record with fixing bugs, this is going to be in the game for about a year. But this is what Nightblade lacks. Like, it lacks a stun. Because you can do something mad like this. Let me just get my bow up quickly. There you go. So if we did this to Manti, you could literally go up to somebody and do elemental weapon, light stack into the spec bow. Why is that not charged? Oh, I've got to charge up again. So let me just charge this up, Manti. And if you heal up, there we go. Yeah, so you have to be in sneak and behind them. It's definitely buggy though, the mechanic. No, you try to spell war me. Yeah, you have to be in snake, you can't just be in cloak. And it's not consistent. Because you see it's not firing now, where it did straight away. But we can try that again. I want to see if we can like reliably make it proc. So Manti, we're going to play a game called Stun the Manti, and you're going to run around, and we're going to see can we stun you in different ways. Nope. 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 It's hard though. But we can do that though. So yeah, it is really buggy. It is. Maybe... It's definitely to do with the PvE detection mode. Like, it thinks he's a PvE mob. So, do I just have to be at a certain range? Is that literally it? Manti, you want to just face the... Yeah, just face the other way. So if you kind of look out towards the sea, and I wonder if it's like to do with range. Nope, not there, because I was in sneak there. Nope. Well, it hits hard though. There. That hits like a truck, that does. You see what I mean? Like it did it, and it's not. Yeah, it's really buggy, that is. Let's change the morph and just see if the other morph triggers it. We'll go with base morph to begin with. But yeah, really weird bug, that is. Manti, if you could stand over here where I am, please, that'd be amazing. Nope. There's a range on it, definitely. Yeah, maybe. I love toxic. Yeah, so I think we'll try that. We'll try when I'm not in combat, just to see if that was the cause. So definitely not in combat. Yeah, but I don't think I had anything to set him off balance. Because like off balance would do that, definitely. The only thing I can think of is you have to crouch hidden but no cloak. Then light attack crushing, and it's better if you're behind your target. I'm pushing cloak, so that might be why then. So light attack crushing. Nope. Obviously I've got the wrong morph, but we can try that. May need to be further away. It still hits hard though. Yeah, we'll try the other morph. That's just the base morph. Because it could just be a morph that's bugged. It won't be any vampire passive. There's nothing that like has off balance or anything like that. Nope. Although I happen to apply both. Yeah, it seemed really glitchy. Manti, can we come over here? We're going to go away from the target dummies. Go to the front. I just wonder whether they're like messing with the stealth detection. So if you come like around here, then we're miles away from the target dummies. Or do you have to time it? Volcanic runes, sunset range. Summoning says, are you making changes to sniping? Yes. We've got I'm pretty happy with this setup actually. I'll do the combo and I'll show you what it does. It is really, really good. So Manti has almost 25k resistance and 1800 crit resist, so it's kind of a typical build. This is with no CP. And there's an Oakus on it. He's detecting you, I think, after crushing. Crushing pulls you out of stealth. That was a feature they made. So as soon as you touch it, pulls you out of stealth. Even over here. Yeah, because like it's still procced, even though like it was not detected. So hidden, but you see the proc still managed to land. Yeah, I like the crushing combo. I do. I think that works quite nice. Let me put. Maybe this is it. Maybe I'm being daft. Is it camo? I'll put camo hunter on, and there's like some weird synergy between them. Snipe is the skill is not great, but if you use the right stuff, it's pretty decent. So that was just one combo there. That was half his health bar. So you can see like there's a lot of damage. We can try a bit closer. But yeah, it seems like it's definitely like buggy. I'm not sure what was causing the stun. Obviously it's on YouTube, so you're welcome to watch it back and try and find out. And if you do, I would love to know how. As we're dead. But yeah, I think we've got a pretty good setup. You could use this and then use Order's Wrath, which is nice. This is with Oakensol, by the way. Let's swap out Oakensol and put on the new Mythic, which is very good. And then I'll do the normal combo and just see can we kill him. Manti said he's going to go in a sec. It's almost 2 AM. I'll call this here in a sec, Manti, right? Because I think we're pretty much where we need to be. Yes, that's really hard because you need to know the range of that. Yeah, oh, that hits so hard though, that does. Tricky, now that was horrible. That is a really good skill, that one. And you get stand back if you miss. Can I don't think that's going to help actually. I think what you'll do, if you put on poison injection, I'm just using it as a gauge. I've used crushing before, but I never had any luck with it because it was really hard to weave, as in like in PvP, because you can't like. It wasn't like Crystal Weapon where you could cast and then land two things together. It was a bit like clunky. So this is where we need to be. Yeah. So do you see what I mean? Like, so I did it, and it doesn't always fire. So I did it a minute ago and it didn't land when I wanted to, whereas Silver Bolts was consistent. But this is more damage. Like you have to, the animation has to fire before you can animation cancel it. I do one last duel with Manti and then I'll kind of conclude with what we found out. Yeah, I think I prefer Silver Bolts. I think. Can I just show the Silver Bolts, Mandy? Sorry, before, just so people can see the difference. It depends. If you can weave crushing weapon easily, it's more damage, but I find it really clunky personally. And this will be the last one because it's midnight where I am too. I'm just putting on my buffs. So he's got 30k, he's pretty like high health, pretty standard armor resistances and stuff. That's 20k. He's almost dead. So yeah, with this mythic, it's very hit and miss. Range, SS, Oaken, Plague Break, Bomber for the win. That's that Sea Serpent, I assume. But yeah, I'm going to wrap up the kind of the thing and just go through the key findings. But I want to say a massive thanks to Manti for just helping stay up this late, but just helping test this stuff. It's been really helpful to kind of give us a, this is what we use next patch. That this is clearly the best setup. We've tried loads of sets, loads of different skill combos, different races. And yeah, this kind of was kind of the most versatile. You're still going to have the same issues with people with, 35,000 resistance, 30k health. You're not going to gank them. That's not going to happen. Unless they're already in combat and they're low health, it's going to be a struggle. But this has 25k pen, like flat, is really, really good. So I don't think you can get much better than this damage-wise. And the skills are kind of what you want to use. These are kind of the best skills, in all honesty, for how you want to play. But yeah, huge thanks to Manti, though, for helping with this. Just really appreciate that. Monkey was saying he'll try and come up with the stun more accurately and let us know. Tenacity said, enjoyed rubbing elbows with you, cheers. No, honestly, it's great kind of getting people to see stuff and you go, try this, or actually, is this working right, or this could be better, or I'm unsure of this, because, sometimes I get things wrong. I am a guy, and I do make mistakes from time to time, believe it or not. And so although I enjoy the game, it is good to just question the build, and I like to think with the stuff in my channel, I do show what I use on stream often. I do show gameplay. I always try to kind of be quite transparent with it. Where I've seen some videos where people are like, 50 kills, no deaths, and they just edit all of the deaths out. It's like, okay, just don't do that. Yeah, FPixel said that stun would be game changing. It really would. Like you saw, when it glitched and it's stunned, there's no counter to it. He could not counter it. We just need to find out how to force the stun. That's the next challenge. But yeah, for those people that are still here, what was the best sets? If you want to use a 2-bar mythic, the Philosophy Mages is the best mythic for damage. It's 5k pen and it's 15% crit damage. It is phenomenal. If you don't want to run this mythic, a close alternative was Marken. It wasn't as good, in all honesty, but this was obviously just way better. Trait-wise, Bloodthirsty was the best trait. So if you want to run any ganker, just use Bloodthirsty. It is the best. If you did want to use 2 bars, you would use Way of the Fire. That was the best proc set for damage. And then using a damage set of choice like Order's Wrath was pretty solid. Even Leviathan's, strangely enough, this was very similar damage consistently. You could drop some damage for sustain, which is still decent. It's not as much damage. You lose about 5k burst, but you got more pressure because you can spam more skills. So this can be good if you want to spam stuff, especially against tanky players, in my opinion, who kind of will roll dodge a lot. So you need that extra sustain to just spam stuff to kill them. Nubian was kind of a good middle ground. If you want to go and use a Oaken Soul build, obviously take that off. You use 2 fire on the jewelry, Oaken Soul, and use Order's Wrath. You can get more damage if you go with the crafted set. I forgot what it's called. It's down here somewhere. Night Mother's Embrace. This is very, very good. So this was a really, really good setup. If Manti is still here, we can just show this really quickly. I don't know if he's actually gone or not. No, he's still there. Like, Night Mother was very good with Oaken Soul. Like, that was the way to go. because you just have so much pen. So that's 22k damage there. It is so much damage on that initial combo. And you got major and minor breach. Plus we have, 9k pen with our Nightblade passive, 11k pen. So we've got 20k pen on Oakensoul, which is insane. So that is definitely the way to go. And Fire again was just the best DPS set. But yeah, I think that's kind of it. FPixel says we now need major defile. I think we need major defile. Like, the old defile with 30% was very good. It made healing difficult. I personally think though they should just change healing to be healing done and healing received. So your heals have like a flat amount, for example. If they went like every burst heal has a flat 10k tooltip, which is pretty standard. Most have like 13, 14k buffed. And then if you get a healing increase set bonus, it's like, rather than 4%, it's like 10%. So that way you actually have to run a healer set if you want to heal, or you have kind of okay heals. CP wise, I didn't use the CP, but if you do want to use CP, the best ones in all honesty, you want to go with Master at Arms. That's just a flat damage boost. Deadly Aim, flat damage boost. Fighting Finesse, and Backstabber. These will give you just the highest peak damage that you can. If you don't want to use Backstabber because you have to be behind them, which you should anyway, you could use Wrathful Strikes. Wrathful Strikes is pretty good. And for the red ones, go with Bastion. You can do more damage to shields. So when people are low health and they use something like Sigil, they get that mini shield, it will just get rid of that really quick. It's good against sorcerers. It's like 12% damage. It's really nice. Then you just use typical red CP. And in the green ones, it's kind of sustain and shadow, speed one when you're not in combat, and just save your money. That's kind of really it. FPixel says, and run if you see a good DK. If you see a mag DK, run. Oh, 100%. If you see a mag DK, you're like, nope. And just go into cloak and just escape. But yeah, I think that's kind of the stuff, really. If there are any questions before I wrap it up, put a message in chat. And if Manty's still here, if you've got any questions, Manty, or anything you want to say, you can message and I can copy it in, or you don't have to. And yeah, I'll kind of go off in a minute or so. And before I forget, I will just link my Discord. So if you like this kind of stuff, or you just want to chat about ESO or just stuff generally, got a Discord. There's like 800 people in there nearly, so it's really chilled. There's gonna be a link in the chat now, so there you go. And as always, if you like what I do have Patreon, which you can, you don't have to. It's up to you. There's perks and stuff on there. It's all like explained. But yeah, it was a good little stream. Very different, but really interesting to have a test subject. And to just try something new out. So yeah, just again a massive thanks to Manty for just sticking with us. And yeah, Summering just says, are the servers still crippled during prime time? I'm on PCEU. It is phenomenal. I've been on PCNA when they upgraded the servers. It was phenomenal. They've upgraded the Xbox server, Xbox NA, phenomenal. So the general rule of thumb is it's way better. It will deteriorate somewhat on peak times, that's going to happen, but it is significantly better than it was. If you're on Xbox EU, that's the last one to be upgraded. PlayStation has been upgraded as well, and it is a massive upgrade. Tenacity says, thanks Manty. And Bamboozle says, cheers for the stream. And Sage says, thanks for putting in the work. Thanks for Manty and all the jaws. L for science. I can go in PCEU and I can snipe. I can actually use whereas previously I couldn't. That is just, it is a massive upgrade. I'll switch character quickly and show you my sorcerer that I've been using. It has like no resistance, and I can go into cyrodiil and stay alive, like against 3 or 4 people quite easily. Against a Zerg, you're gonna die because it's got no armor, but it has enough resistance and enough shield size and stuff to just be able to play with shields only for defense, which you could never do, you know, 6 months ago. So yeah, I've just gone like max mag and I can stay alive in Cyrodiil, which you saw people running Mark of the Pariah for a while on Sorcerer because it was just that bad. Sage says PlayStation has been upgraded. Yeah, apparently. I'm a bit skeptical about that, but apparently it has. So this is my PvP thing. Is it PvP? Let me have a look. This looks like my PvE one. So this is the Oakensall build that I was using. There's a video on the channel, but this is the stat page. It's not there's not like much resistance on this, and I can go into Cyrodiil and stay alive fine, just because the shield is so big. Like it's 20k. It's massive in PvP. It's like 10k in PvP. It is huge. So yeah. Sage says he still has some bad lag, which is unfortunate. Maybe PlayStation hasn't been upgraded. I know it was meant to be. I would definitely check the forums out if it hasn't, because yeah, that'd be unfortunate. So Xbox been upgraded and everyone that I've spoken to who plays on there is like, it is amazing. It's like night and day. So I'd be surprised if PlayStation wasn't the same. But yeah, I'm kind of going to leave it there. As I said, it's late enough as it is. Details all down below, Discord and Patreon and stuff. And I'll catch you in the next video on the next stream. So I'm going to say a massive thanks to everyone that's just tuned in, watched this long. A huge thanks again to Manti and just all the support on Patreon and stuff and Discord. It really helps. It really means a lot. But as always, I'll catch you in the next video. So thanks for watching, guys. Take care and bye.